This is a call to our soul family. This is a call to our soul family. Awake and unite. Awake and shine bright.
Hi everyone. Hi guys. Welcome to this third episode of Outrageously Playful. We actually already recorded the episode 2 days ago in a restaurant here in Timișoara, where we both are right now. But for some reason, the first few minutes of it, we cannot hear what we're saying. It's impossible. They got lost. The rest of it, thankfully, is salvageable, so you will enjoy that shortly. But we thought we'd make this short introduction to let you in on what we actually discussed during those few minutes. It's basically how we got here. Yeah, given the fact that neither of us lives here, and given the fact that we live very spontaneous and very flowy lifestyles, I would say. And of course, along with that, we attract quite a lot of, I'm going to say, judgment from the outside, or let's say just very strong reactions. So how can you live like that? Yeah. There's the most common one. So, because we fully enjoy how we live, and we have our own reasons for doing it this way, we just want to share with you more about that. So, Joy.
I think the interesting part about this is not only the fact that we had this idea because everyone has ideas, right? But I think the common mindset that is like not allowing people to go towards these kinds of ideas is pretty much related to things like, I don't know, time, money, what would my complete the dots person say, all of these things. And the way that we have chosen to live for a while now is to follow these urges. I think you've always seen most people have seen the movie Yes Man, Jim Carrey, and that's kind of the way that this goes. Like, for me especially, I'm gonna speak in my name.
No, I don't agree, because his thing was saying yes to everything that came in the movie. So it's not that, it's saying yes to what feels right to you.
Well,
no.
My life journey has been about saying yes to everything, and then learning that I don't need to say yes to everything. I can choose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am now.
Yeah.
And for me, the things that would seem like I'm defying what is rational and normal, because this is definitely what my family says about me. I am the black sheep officially. I've even been told that.
Oh.
So what I did was, when I got Gabby's invitation, in my head I was like looking at my finances, looking at the fact that I have some small debts that I need to pay. And then I don't have a job currently. I finished doing my consulting work for last year, and I didn't feel like going to that again. I'm doing some interviews now for maybe a fixed position somewhere. And I had some money coming in, but it's like everything is completely in the air in my life. And if you think about it this way, it doesn't make any sense, right? You should do these things like jumping into an excursion, a vacation, traveling to see a friend, when you have all of the resources available, or that is what the status quo is dictating. But I believe that when you make the jump, you create the world that you want for yourself.
And the resources follow, and the line.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly. I feel like this is something that we need to change in our mindsets. This is a little bit of a twitch.
An adjustment
that would help profound. And this is like something that you see in Moana 2, for example, the movie. I would loved it so much. They let's say, visually explain this idea of jumping into the unknown. It's like courageously jumping into I want to do this trip because I feel like it, obviously. I felt like joining Gabi. I felt like supporting her personally and being here in any way possible to support her mother. I felt like this is something I want to do. I felt the enjoyment of going on a trip because I love trips. And even if it didn't make sense, like I made it make sense. I decided that I made a pact with myself and the universe. I decided that this is going to be for my highest good. So good things will come with this. This is the mindset that I left Bucharest with.
There's that as well. But I think what it comes down to is that you didn't follow your mind that was telling you this doesn't make sense, because making sense is of the mind, but you followed your intuition, which is of the body in many ways, and for us specifically, it's emotional.
Yeah.
So you followed how you feel. You made decisions based on what you feel, not based on what you think. So even though it didn't make sense for the mind, which is often the case, often sometimes the case for us, it did somehow feel right. And it ended up being useful for you as well, because you were here yesterday for your interview, and I was able to hold space for all of that, and before and after and during, like, for the whole thing, right? And yeah, I mean, we both get so much out of every time we meet,
Yeah.
because we are manifestors and we initiate each other. It's many things, but yeah, no, it's been useful. It's been useful and amazing for both of us. And yeah, things align and manifest, I guess, when you follow your intuition. That's how you get into the state of flow.
Yeah. Yeah, and
even when it doesn't make sense for the mind.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to add. Just the flow doesn't make sense. Flow is not meant to make sense.
It can sometimes, but it doesn't have to.
It's
the point. Yeah.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
makes sense. Yeah, and it's very interesting just to look at the overall thing, because it's not only the jumping into the experience that is completely amazing. It's like everything that happens along the way. So, for example, I took a blah car to come here, and I ended up going with the truck driver. I was very hesitant at first because he said there's gonna be three women, three little girls in the cabin, and I was like, what the fuck? This is not gonna be a good idea. This is not gonna work. And then last minute, what happened is that the other girls canceled, so I was alone with him the whole way. It was a brand new truck, so I had everything. I had buttons to do everything I wanted with my chair, with the suspensions. It was fucking luxury.
So very comfortable.
Yes. And not only that, but I feel like for me, the experience itself was such a huge step for me forward. Because it reminded me of how beautiful it is to communicate with someone that maybe doesn't have my language, my, education level, my intelligence, all of these things. And definitely not to judge, but to literally understand that we are all freaking humans. For me to remember that we are all freaking humans. And that, the languages, especially the emotional language, is all the same. So I ended up having these amazing conversations. Yeah, at least. Yes. I ended up having these amazing conversations with him, although I did not expect that for a second. He shared about an accident that he had, the only accident he's ever had, and unfortunately it involved a very drunk person and the death of that person, so it was a very heavy one.
Yeah.
And I automatically opened up and shared and held space for him. And I could see how that was invaluable in that moment. So just the fact of being able to do that, just for that moment, the whole ride was more than amazing for me. Didn't even matter how many hours and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you said he was very, very flexible with all the bathroom breaks because you're water fasting now. We both are, actually. This was another coincidence that felt very synchronistic, and that was also like, okay, come here, let's do this together, let's hold space for each other while we go through this. I started a day early, I think, and now I'm in day 5, so you're day 4?
And day 4, yeah.
Of water fasting. I've done 5 days before, so
I've never gone up to 3, so this is a new one for me. And Gabi's the one that studied the benefits of this. I used to do like fasting before, at least one day, or intermittent fasting basically since university, because it just felt natural. I never studied it or anything. But I love how Gabi came into the equation with the actual explanations behind it and the research and this is good for that and this is how it helps, and then explaining to me how it's good to drink water and which moments to do it, and that you don't need to suffer when you actually are hungry. You could just have bad water and just drink more. It makes it easier.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was very accommodating for your bathroom breaks and to buy more water and that kind of thing. So it's really good.
Yeah. He was incredible. He was absolutely incredible as a human being.
Send him some gratitude.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would have loved to give him a review as well, but we didn't book through the app, so.
Yeah, that's a big thing in Romania, huh?
Yeah, so I think like the beauty of the experience itself is the journey. And I know we've heard this over and over, and I don't like saying that. Like, I do not like the saying itself.
Why?
Because I can't grasp it, and it's annoying me every time. But the reality behind it is that every time I put an intention, be it, I don't know, meeting with a friend, getting a job, canceling or whatever, integrating the trauma that I have. It doesn't matter what I intend. From the moment I put that intention, I'm starting to see how every single thing that happens from that moment onwards is connected and related to this intention. And that is a journey. Like that section there until the completion, until you realize that you've achieved whatever you wanted is the journey. And I think I said this in podcast number 2, episode number 2, that it's the end result is infinitely more incredible than the actual intention because of this journey, because of everything that comes along the way.
Yeah.
And the levels at which you integrate the experience itself and the intention itself.
Yeah. And we don't actually know what our path looks like or where our journey will lead. So the intentions we set are often very related to the now moments, actually. So we can only see like this small fragment of everything that is coming and of everything that will be. And we also don't know exactly what we actually need. We just know what we want. So often when I do set intentions, I write the thing, right? And as specifically as I can, because I'm a specific manifestation. For you, it's more about feeling, like how you're going to feel and that kind of thing, for non-specific. And I add at the end this or something better, right? To leave room for the universe to, not even to surprise me, but like to do its thing. Not that I could control it not doing its thing, but to invite that to be humble and to recognize that I can only see this much of it, and I know there's so much more. So please show me how good it can get and surprise me.
Yeah, I love how the sun just went on your forehead while you were saying this, so that's beautiful. I'll take it as a validation. And I love what you said, at the end of your intention. For me, that would translate into when I say potrivit in Romanian, which is like appropriate or like a good fit. Yes, like I've learned that I can manifest things specifically. I've done that quite a lot in my life because I didn't know that you can do it differently. That simple. And every time I would do that, it would be so bad. Like I would get that list of traits and then I would have so many other hidden ones, and I just felt like that is horrifying. And at one point I stopped and I tuned into...
Before you stopped, I remember you tried to get even more specific. Like, okay, I asked for this and I got this as well, so I need it to be even more specific. Like, I think this is what the journey we go through, right? Like you've been trying to be super specific, although your style is non-specific. And for me, it's the other way around, right? Because now we're in an age where everyone is like, oh, you need to feel into things, like how you want to feel and think of that when you're manifesting and so on, right? Which is not how my style is, but it's, yeah. So we're here to teach, we're here to learn always.
Exactly. And yeah, when I started tuning into, or when I decided to tune into what I want more, and I basically stopped doing lists, I would simply say stuff like, I want to feel good today. I want to, I don't know, feel rich today. I want to feel, and it's not like I could see the steps or I could see what I want to do or where I want to be. It's literally just this feeling. And the only way to get there is by taking the first nudge of excitement, the first action that I can. For example, maybe I felt like going outside. Maybe I felt like giving a phone call. Maybe I felt like watching something on TV. And it's just a chain reaction that happens that leads me to an experience or to the end of the day. And then I look back and I realize, wow, this has been exactly what I wanted, but I would have never been able to actually describe it. And like I was saying with the word appropriate, when I don't know what I want, for example, sometimes in relationships or professionally or stuff like this, I just say, I want something that is appropriate for me, something that feels right for me in this moment, understanding that I can only receive what is right for me anyway, so if I can't figure out what that is, I'm just going to surrender and say, I trust that whatever you send me right now is exactly what I need in this moment, and it's right for me.
Yeah, honestly, I'm wondering right now if there's even a point to all this conscious manifesting that we're doing, because it's just another way of trying to control things. Ultimately.
It is.
And it's not like we have any kind of control. Sorry for whoever didn't know that. And it's, yeah, the more we surrender, I mean, we're looking at ways to better surrender through manifesting, right? Like what I was saying with the this or something better or that kind of thing. It's also this. It's like, how can I get more out of the way and just let flow happen and just let life happen?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is really connected also to what happened to me, what was happening to me before I came here, and we talked about it today. I feel like I have been really trying for the last couple of months to do the right thing, to go towards the right kind of jobs, to have the right kind of, I don't know, space where I live in, to have the right kind of relationships and whatnot. It was making me incredibly miserable. So the moment I decided to come here, again, although it didn't make any sense rationally, I felt alive again. And by doing that, like, I remembered something that I had forgotten a long time ago, and the fact that, and it is the fact that the lifestyle that brings me the most joy is a very nomadic lifestyle. And even saying that, like, just allows me to breathe deeper and exhale deeper. And it's not easy for me. I do not in any way come from a culture or a family that, I'm not even going to say welcomes this, that even tolerates the acceptance of this in reality. Like, that is the level. Like, I remember
You mean they don't even acknowledge that this is something that exists, or what?
they take this as being something that is specific to a certain type of person.
Okay.
And that is completely impossible for us to even consider as a possibility or reality. This is frowned upon. It's very bad. It's like I would, I don't know, do the biggest sin possible and I would go to hell directly. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's funny to say this because through and through, both my parents want this for themselves. I can see that, but they never allowed themselves to do that. So guess what? Someone had to break the generational curse. Yeah.
And take everyone out of their comfort zones.
Yeah.
And this brings me to what we were saying, honestly, at the beginning of the episode, about how, what will people say? The famous expression, right? Like, this is, I don't know if it's particularly Romanian. I feel like it is. Like it's
Definitely specific here.
very ingrained here. You know, it's such a thing. Like, what will the neighbors say, or what will whatever person say about this, or what will people think? It's not even necessarily say, you know, because saying implies an interaction with someone, and it's not even that. It's what will people think? Like, what do you care what people will think? How will it even impact you what people think? Like, okay, if they react, if they whatever, fine. You need to interact with them and hold your own and be, you know, straight in your beliefs and that kind of thing. But the what will people think? It's just it's mind blowing for me, and it's particularly annoying. And I've had it come up quite a while on this last trip, from various people for that matter. And it's just, yeah, it's something I've worked a lot to be free of, to not care about anymore, because it was like a pair of handcuffs keeping me stuck in whatever society expects of me, and whatever my family or whatever other people that are not me expect.
We don't even know these people, but they are there. They
exactly, yes. These unwritten rules, or these unwritten habits that are socially acceptable or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, no.
We're here to break that. We're here to, and I mean, I'm saying we because I know you agree with this as well. Like, we're here to break free of that, and to explode all of these rules and constructs and sayings that keep people stuck. Because the only person you have to answer to in this lifetime is yourself, ultimately.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not talking about going ahead and murdering people. That's not what I mean. But like, as long as you act for yourself and it only impacts yourself, like, and even we can go even beyond that. But still, let's keep it just to that. Who cares? Like, nobody, from my point of view, nobody has the right to say anything about what you do, how you dress, how you look, not even to mention what skin color you have, or where you come from, or all of those things, or what religion you are, or what you believe in, or it is nobody's business.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is that we really are living our own lives. We really are living whatever our own journey, individual journey is here to live. And we're not saying that there's no, problems that are happening in the world or stuff like this. But once you step into your own journey, you kind of take control over the environments that you're in, the kind of people that you accept in your life, the kind of experiences that you want. You literally take responsibility for the fact that you are creating your own reality. And
you start to curate.
Yeah, exactly. I love that word. Yeah, curate. And I think that it's fascinating how we don't need to come to say to anyone that they're doing anything wrong or good. That's not the point. That's never the point. What we're doing with this podcast and with our lifestyles in general is simply being ourselves. And that in itself triggers the shit out of everyone that needs to be triggered to awaken to some extent.
Yeah, because
various things on the way.
Because people are like, what gave you the right to be free?
Yeah,
like, what gave you the right to live as you want to live?
Yeah.
The fact that I've been born, I'm innately worthy, and I don't need anyone to.
I need her around me for that to rub off on me, because oh my god, I have yet to know that kind of power and that kind of groundedness. I love that. But yeah, it's like the more we step into our own curator roles, as you said, the more people get triggered because they see that they are not in their curator roles.
That they are not free.
That they are not free.
How they're not respecting their own wishes and living as they would like to live.
Exactly. And we've been learning more and more that other people's reactions are not about us. They are about them. And then we're kind of very freely at this point, allowing these reactions to happen and allowing people to just do whatever the fuck they need to do with respect to what we're doing.
As much as we can. I mean, it's still difficult sometimes, especially when it's
closer, closer family.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing to be able to acknowledge and understand that I cannot change other people's minds. I cannot create their own realities. I can be there for them as a mirror and as an example of how things can be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and this is why we're sharing all of this, to show how we live, how things can be, how we've been able to find our freedom and get unstuck from the things that were chaining us down or holding us back or this kind of thing. And like we said in the podcast intro, right, to give permission slips to other people to do the same. Like this is the purpose, one of the purposes of this podcast, to give a big, huge permission slip to everyone to just follow their own authority and their own desires and their own nudges of excitement, because it's going to be different for every single person. What brings me joy and excitement and makes me feel alive is totally different from her and from everyone else, because I'm a unique individual. Some things will be similar, sure, but we're all such diverse and complex and multi-passionate, multifaceted, multidimensional beings that it just cannot be compared, and it's not worth comparing. It's just looking at your own self and your own wishes and desires and seeing how you can nudge yourself closer to them. Like even small incremental steps make a world of difference.
And one of the ways in which we can like say that differently is that there's a lot of people that ask me this, like, what did you do to get to where you are? Like, I have a few months of explaining what I did, but it's never going to be relevant to the other person. Yes, there are things that I might feel like I should share with the person, and they might give something. But other than that, the journey is individual. So my invitation to everyone is like, the only thing you need is to be curious, to discover yourself and your needs, and to discover your connection with your intuition, whatever that is. So just start doing things in this direction. That's it. Just start doing. Just take the first step and try to hold in you this belief that you can achieve this, that you can become more of what you would like. That's it.
Yeah.
Just do that, and I swear your world will transform.
And you don't have to do it alone. Like you can talk to friends, you can find people that are on the same wavelength that are trying to do the same thing. You can get help and be accompanied by a coach or a mentor or a guide or whatever, or
therapist, whatever.
Sure, whatever resonates. Like there are so many people doing such amazing things. Or find a community, be it live, be it online. Like there are so many resources out there for people that want to get unstuck and want to live a different life. You just need to find what is right for you. And there are things out there, but for sure you do not need to be alone in it, because honestly, it can get difficult and it can get lonely, because a lot of stuff does come up.
It will get difficult and it will get lonely, and it's part of the ride.
Yeah.
And it leads to more ease and more grace, because every single time we confront ourselves with difficult patches, we can better set intentions for how we want to live further. That's not to say that they ever disappear. It's just to say that we kind of start understanding this this come and go, this ebb and flow of how feelings, emotions, states, beliefs are. They come and go, but every single time they expand more. So it just allows you to see it more freely, to see it more naturally, as you would see the ebb and flow of the ocean or of water.
Yeah, it's contraction before expansion. And seeing it like that, of the cycle of contraction, expansion, that that one always leads into the other and so on. It's really helpful because when you're in that moment of deep contraction, painful, and you're hurting and it feels like whatever, your life is going to end or whatever, fill in the blank for each person their lowest point. It feels like nothing's ever going to change or you're stuck there or whatever, but the only constant in life is change. So everything changes. You know the famous saying, with this too shall pass? Well, it will. It's sometimes difficult to remember it in the moment, but the more you keep this in mind and try to live by it, that this too shall pass, that this is just a contraction before expansion. The moment you remember it, it just makes everything easier and lighter. So it's not that there aren't any more difficult patches, God knows. Sometimes it feels like they get even more difficult as you go. I don't know, like the bigger the expansion, the bigger the contraction. But not to scare anyone, but you're more aware of it, so you live through it with more ease and grace, I want to say, because you understand that it's a natural part of life and that it's not all love and light. It can't be just that. Not on this earth. Once we leave it maybe, but here in this dimension, it's duality. It's everything. Yeah. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Still haven't seen the movie though.
I did.
I still haven't seen it. You've tried to recommend it to me several times.
No, people recommended it to both of us, and we haven't talked about it since I saw it, because I saw it like 2 weeks ago or 3, no more, last month. I just recently saw it, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it since then, actually, and it's special. We'll see.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like an invitation to take the leap, just as we're doing, and like just try it out once. You know, it can't hurt. You can take as many precautions as you want. You don't have to do it the way we did it. You don't have to quit your jobs. You don't have to do anything like that. But just try to take a step out of what you've conventionally been doing and just try to see how it is to live a little bit, just a little bit, courageously or with adrenaline. I don't even know how it is for every individual.
Really, it depends for each person. Just follow even the smallest nudge of excitement that takes you towards something you want and you desire. It doesn't have to be big, like you said. It doesn't have to be, okay, quit your job and do whatever. It can be a small thing, but just one small thing after another. Just take steps towards yourself, I want to say. You know, whatever that looks like to you. It doesn't have to be courageous and with adrenaline. That's for you. I don't relate to that.
These are examples.
But it just something that brings you joy, that brings you excitement, that makes you alive somehow.
Yeah, and that can even be like writing to someone that you haven't spoken with in a while. Just try it out, and it's not about believing us. It's about going in it yourself and drawing your own conclusions and seeing how you feel after that. If anything has changed, you know, if anything feels lighter, if the threat that you were expecting is insanely more manageable than you thought it would be. Like, just do it for yourself. Try to experiment in any way that you feel like.
Yeah. I feel like that's an important point as well, because often the fears we have around following our nudges and our desires just disappear the moment you take the first step. It's there, like so many of them are only in our minds and are not actually real. And it was an important lesson to learn, I think, for me at least. Felt like bringing that into the space as well. So follow your nudges of excitement, and unless they're see you next time.
And write to us if you ever have questions or want to talk about these things. We have quite a lot to share, and we will be sharing. So, bye.
Awaken, unite, awaken.